Hey y'all, welcome to my channel or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, so today's video, I'm really excited about this. This is the fall 2021. I'm super excited. I love the seasons and like the different holidays and whatnot because you can just be so creative. I mean, there are just so many different things that you can actually do. So I get super into the holidays and the seasons and whatnot. I love farmhouse, don't get me wrong, but it's a challenge, you know? It's just an extra challenge, so I love it. All right, let's jump in. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, let's get into this first one. This is DIY number 1. So for this one, I have got one of the square wreath forms that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I've also got 3 of the Hula skirts from the Dollar Tree. Now 2 of those are like the child size, 1 is the adult size. And then I've got a bunch of different stems that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, some florals that I picked up also at Walmart. Now the first thing I did was take this wreath form and completely cover it with masking tape. I just figured it would be a lot easier to get my flowers on there and, you know, just I would really have something to glue my stuff to because I planned on, you know, hot gluing the majority of this. So I would actually have a back to hot glue too. So that's why I wrapped it in the masking tape and it worked out perfectly. It literally worked out perfect. Now, I'm going to take one of those hula skirts. This is the child size one, and I cut it directly in half. You're going to take the part that actually has the twine attached to it and just set that to the side. We're going to use that in a minute. I added some hot glue to my wreath form and then started placing down my raffia or the hula skirt, whatever you want to call it. I just started kind of placing it down. I'm gluing it to it. So I pick up that first little half that, you know, wasn't glued to the wreath form, add a little more hot glue, place that part down. Now I put down enough that I can pat it with my hand. And then that's why I have so much left over, like that I can pick up and continue to, you know, move around. So I just continued this process all the way around it. Now, I did have to cut the other wreath forms, Lord have mercy. I did have to cut the other hula skirts in order to have enough to go all the way around. I then took my scissors and started to kind of clean it up. So I just trimmed it up really, really good around the inside of that wreath form, just so that it would be nice and square again, get it looking just right. Just clean it up a little bit. Now, we're going to take the piece that is still attached to the twine. Now, it's cut in half, remember, and we've got that piece. I thought that this would just look a little better. It would just look a little cleaner, a little more polished. So I decided to take that and lay it over the top of where I've already put down the hula skirt and just use that kind of as my border around that inside edge of the wreath form. It just really made it look a little more, I don't know, tailored, you know, it just looked a little better. So I just continued that process and I had to use 2 of the child size hula skirts in order to make it all the way around the wreath form. I then took my scissors and cleaned up the outside edge. So you can leave this as long as you want. Cleaned it up, made it square all the way around. I then took some Mod Podge, added some water to it, and just began to paint it all over it. Once it dried, it was nice and stiff, just like this. I was able to move it around, stand it up. I just wanted to make sure that when I, you know, go to put it like on the door, that it will actually stand out, you know, flare out straight. So I did have to trim a little more and just kind of get that outside edge cleaned up a little bit. But I'm making this for my mother-in-law. I'm actually giving this to her for her to put on her front door. She actually just got a brand new front door. So I wanted it to look super good to go on her new front door. All right, now I'm going to take those florals and I just went through and cut them off of the stem that they're on. I just cut them off, got them ready. That way I could begin to glue them to the hula skirt. So I just trimmed them off pretty short. I'm just going to add some hot glue right down on that hula skirt and then begin to add in my florals. So I started out with my greenery. Now this I got from Walmart. I can't remember what it was called, but it kind of looks like lamb's ear, but it isn't. It was called something else.
So I just added in that greenery first. But like I said, all I did was add glue right down to the hula skirt. And y'all, this holds up perfectly. Like it really did work out just right. Just continued to add in my greenery. I kind of played around with it, you know, just to find the placement of everything. But this was so super simple. This is so customizable. I mean, you could make this for any kind of decor, honestly. It doesn't have to be fall. So then I decided to put in some of my hydrangeas that I had, the orange and the blue. I just love that blue color for fall. The orange goes perfectly with it. Then I had some of the little pit berries. I did put those in, added in some of the, it looks like kind of like cattail, and then some of that wheatgrass. And I thought that wheatgrass just looked perfect. And then some of the, pumpkins also. Now, I got this little truck at the Hobby Lobby, and I just added hot glue to the back of it and glued that dude directly down to my flowers. Popped in a couple different pumpkins. Y'all, this works out perfect. So stinking cute. All right, so to hang this up, I flip it over, poke my scissors down in the back of that masking tape, and add in some twine. Now, double up my twine, loop it through, and then just pull it tight. I'm then just going to tie a knot in the end of that. I was, you know, kind of holding it up to decide how long I needed my twine to be. Now, when I went to hold this up to hang it, obviously we're going to be super heavy on one side, so it's not going to hang right. So I decided to take some rocks that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I just kind of went through the bag and found some that were nice and flat, kind of bigger ones, but they were nice and flat. And I just glued those, y'all, right to that masking tape. Now, this might have been like the weirdest idea I ever had, but listen, it worked, okay? So we're like distributing the weight is what we're necessarily doing. We're just making it even on both sides, so that way when you go to hang it, it's going to hang straight. I did take some masking tape and put over the top of those rocks. Number one, so that it doesn't scuff or scratch the front door, but also just so, you know, it kind of looked nicer with the masking tape over it. Just kind of made it look better, because obviously it's kind of odd to have those rocks on there, but I'm telling y'all, it worked. It was the perfect idea for this. Check out how stinking cool this thing looks. Okay, so before we go any further, I just wanted to take a second and tell y'all about these shelves that were sent to me by a company called Sunbury. Now, they are sellers on Amazon. You can actually buy these on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description box for these particular shelves, and I believe a discount code also, but y'all, these shelves are so cool looking, and they are so handy, first of all. But this is how simple it was to put these together. My son literally put these together in about 10 minutes, and they are fabulous. Okay, y'all, so here it is. Look at these lights. Oh my gosh. How cool are they? Like, they just go so perfectly. So super proud of this. These lights are just amazing. I'm absolutely in love. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the cool thing about them is not only do you have the lamp, you've got all of the shelves. So got this drawer. How neat is that? Yeah, so you got the drawer. Then you also have two plugins and two USB plugins. So like for my phone cord, I can charge my phone and literally sit it right here. This little deal here is there so that you can prop your phone up. Y'all, they are so nice, like for real. And you buy them off of Amazon. I am in love. I think they look so good. I actually just repainted my headboard. Chalk paint. Yes, ma'am. Got these at the Dollar General store, the little lights. Side. So this is my boyfriend's side of the bed. He's got the same exact light, same setup. I love this, y'all. You got the plug-ins, USB. I mean, these are just so super nice. Oh my gosh. And then also check this out. So here's the little cord, but watch. Turn it off. Comes back on. It's like a soft white. And then you have like the dim white. And then you have the like full-on white. So that's the shelves. I'll have a link in the description box for those shelves. Y'all be sure and go check those out because I'm telling you, they are super nice. All right, DIY number 2. So for this one, I am going to be using my chalk couture, and I love it, y'all. I've got 2 of the chalk couture transfers here. I've also got that little chalkboard with the wooden bottom to it, and then one of these little pumpkin picks that I picked up at Walmart. So the first thing I did was cut my transfers. I'm then going to peel it off of the like little shiny backing that it's on, and you're going to fuzz it. So you fuzz, and then you fuzz some more. If y'all have not seen Melissa over at All Things Crafty, you've got to go check her out, okay? Because she has got some super cute chalk couture DIYs. She knows all about it and can definitely teach y'all way more than I can. So be sure and go check her out. I'll leave a link in the description box for her channel, actually. So she uses chalk couture a lot. All right, now I've got my paste from Chalk Couture and then my little squeegee deal, and it just takes a very, very small amount to use this. That's what I like about this. Y'all, those paste containers will last forever. Do you hear me? Because what you do is take your paste, you put it on the transfer, and then you just begin to kind of smear it. And as you smear, you go back and wipe off any excess. Now, mind you, these transfers do not bleed and also are reusable. That is the best part, because this is like the gift that keeps on giving or something. But I just used mine. I did my white on all the spots that I wanted the white, and then I'm going to take the green and go around the rest of it, like on the greenery part. I used the white on the little flowers that were actually in that wreath. And then I'm going to take the green and do all of the greenery. But y'all, the smallest little amount will literally go so far on these transfers. It's crazy. Yes, I just wiped it on my hand because I needed a paper towel and I didn't have one. So my hand was the next best thing. Anyways, once I was done, I peel it off and look at how perfect. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to take the one that says gather. And like I said before, you're going to fuzz it, and fuzz it some more. Place that down. Smooth it in real good. I'm then going to take some more of that paste, and look, you just smear it on and go back and wipe it off. I mean, it's super simple. Very, very easy to use. And I love that everything is reusable, and it's just, y'all, it is definitely a good set of supplies to have in your arsenal. Now, I took that pumpkin pick, I just simply glued it to the edge of this. Y'all, that's all I did. This was so simple. Too stinking cute. right, moving right along. DIY number 3. So for this one, I've got this terracotta pot that I picked up at Walmart for $1.10 off the clearance rack. And it's a good size one. It's like the medium-sized one. I've then got 3 pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, 2 of the foam ones, and then one of these little burlap ones. I've also got some reindeer moss and then a couple different picks that I picked up at Walmart, some of the fall leaves and whatnot from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using my hazelnut, my celery, and also a navy blue color that I kind of mixed up myself. Now, the first thing I did was put my pumpkins on my little Lazy Susan. I stuck a skewer down in it that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and that way I could pick them up, move them around, hold them, you know, whatever I needed to do, but it's so much easier with that skewer stuck down in there. So I just began to paint these. The foam ones paint up super good. It's very smooth. I mean, they really paint up very, very well. Now, the burlap one, it took quite a bit of paint to, it kind of like sucked up the paint. So it did take quite a bit to fill that in, but no big deal. Painted those up. I'm going to let those dry. Now, I'm taking some white chalk paint by Waverly. I've got a chip brush. I'm just going to wipe my paint off and then begin to dry brush this terracotta pot. Now, I love to dry brush terracotta because it is just such a pretty color when you're done with it. I think it just, I don't know, it just really takes the terracotta pot up a notch, okay? So I dry brushed the pot all the way around, kind of light, filled in a couple little spots. I'm then going to add some hot glue to the inside rim of that pot. Take my first pumpkin and kind of shove it down in there. So it wouldn't fit all the way down in there, obviously, but you could get it snug. You know what I mean? You could push until it was good and snug. And I did not want this to topple out of the pot. So that's why I glued it and kind of pushed it down in there. Added some hot glue to the top, added on my next pumpkin. Added some hot glue to the bottom of the burlap pumpkin, popped that dude right on top. Now, what we're building is a topiary, obviously. So I decided to take some of these picks that I had picked up at Walmart, and I just kind of cut them up and then just started sticking the pieces in all the way around the topiary. You can actually decorate it any way you want to. I just decided to put a couple of the sunflowers and a little bit of the fall leaves, some of the little berries, and then I decided to go around each pumpkin and add in that reindeer moss. I just think it like finished it off. I mean, that was what it needed. It was missing something, and I really think that that reindeer moss is exactly what it needed. So I just added that in on any of the places that I thought that it needed it, but more or less just going around it. I then took my scissors and trimmed it up some. You do have to go back and kind of, you know, trim it up and make the moss look nice. That's it. This one's done. I love it. All right, next one, DIY number 4. Okay, so for this one, we're going to be using some more of my chalk couture. I have got this frame and chalkboard that I got from Chalk Couture. Now, they sent this to me in my starter kit. Y'all, Chalk Couture has just got some of the coolest stuff. If you get on their website and check it out, I'll have a link in the description box for Chalk Couture. Y'all go check it out because they've just got some really cool stuff. But I got this transfer. I thought it was really cute. The saying on it was super cute. So I placed that down on my chalkboard. I then took 2 of the colors of green that I had in my paste, and I just dipped a very little amount out. used my little silicone brush and I mixed it together. I was kind of looking for a different color of green than what I had between the two. So I thought, well, I'll mix them together and see. And it actually worked out just right because it turns out to be a really pretty color. Now we're going to do this one the same way that we did the last one. You just simply take a small amount of the paste and you smear it onto the places on the transfer that you want that particular color. So like with this one, I did the green on the greenery parts, just all the way. And so you go back and you take off any excess. So all that excess is just more paste to use. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind that it's such a small amount of paint that is used to do these. Whereas if you used, you know, like a traditional stencil with a brush and paint, you would use quite a bit of paint, you know, but with this, you just use a very, very little amount. But you just place it on there, smear it into where you want it, go back, squeegee it back off, and continue to use it, you know, until you've gotten everything put on there that you're wanting that color, that particular, you know, color on. So super simple to use. Like I said before, I love that they are reusable. That is awesome. They've got all kinds of different backgrounds. They have tons and tons of transfers of all kinds of different sayings and, you know, whatnot. But it's just some really cool stuff to work with. It's fun. I enjoy it, actually. So y'all be sure and check out that link I'll leave in the description box for the Chalk Couture because, y'all, this is just so satisfying. Look at how pretty that is. It's perfect, y'all. It's literally perfect. All right, now I took a set of a few of the stems and greenery that I had left over from earlier, and I just wrapped some twine around the stems that were actually left on them. Now I cut them down super short. I then went in through the back of this little set of florals that I have and made another place of twine. So I'm going to wrap up another little spot on the very back of this. And that is so I have got two spots that I can add hot glue to actually glue this to my board or to my frame. Super simple. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, DIY number 5. So for this one, I've got one of these vases I picked up at the Dollar Tree. These are new to my Dollar Tree. I've actually not seen that particular style. Got some of the pop dot stickers. I've also got some of the little mini mums. And then I've got 2 of these stems that I picked up that got the little pumpkin vine on it. I got those at the Dollar General store, actually. So I'm just going to take that vase, take my little pop dot stickers, and I have found that it is easier for me. Now, that doesn't mean it is for everybody, but it is easier for me to place those little stickers using tweezers. That's just the easiest way it is for me to do it. So I went all the way around this vase, and then I did a second line of the pop dot stickers all the way around the vase. So just 2 different lines of it. Just wanted to do something to kind of make it stand out, make this vase a little different. I took that blue once again, and we're just going to completely paint this vase, top to bottom. It really painted up nicely. It's super smooth, very simple. This is a very, very easy DIY, and it just looks so pretty. Now, I'm going to take some white chalk paint and a chip brush, wipe my paint off of my brush really, really good, and then simply dry brush right over the top of those pop dots. I just wanted that part to stand out. I didn't really want to dry brush the entire thing, but I did want the pop dots to stand out. I then dry brushed right along the top edge and the bottom edge of this. So just to weather it a little bit, we just kind of transformed that vase. Now, I found these 2 sets of dried flowers at the Dollar Tree, and I just showed them to y'all for a second, just to give you an idea of something else that you could put in that vase. You could do just the mums in that vase. You could actually place the mums and the wooden flowers, dried flowers, whatever in there. See how pretty that is? That's pretty. But I ended up placing all of it in there. I just kind of played around with it until I got it the way that I wanted it. But y'all, you could customize this to match your colors, to match your style of fall decor. But it's so, so pretty and so simple. I love it. And now for the final reveal. I hope that y'all enjoy. That is it for today. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this. I know that I enjoyed making these for sure. If you did enjoy these, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family. Leave a comment and also subscribe. That would be awesome. All right, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you will know each time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a good day.